All right.
Well, speaking of lack of plots.
Yes.
Terra Titans number 5. We're here. We were talking about something else, and I said, speaking of lack of plots, and I said, let's start this podcast because this book has no fucking plot. Well, it does have a plot. Okay, it's just a really shitty one. Yeah, so I should say no plots. It just is awful plots. Yeah. Oh my god, we're on number 5, right? Like, how? Yeah. Why are we here? I mean,
because it got chosen by Paul for us.
Paul, the jiu-jitsu lawyer, Boudreaux.
Yeah.
Of certified martial arts on Bridgeport and 27th in University Place / Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
That's Paul.
Do you know that a world champion jiu-jitsu person has stayed at our house and he's fighting on...
Really?
I mean, it'll be after this podcast comes out. Not fighting, but he has a big jiu-jitsu match on
Grapple, yeah.
Yeah. On ESPN or UFC Fight Pass or something. Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
That guy stayed. I was like, that guy stayed at our house. And Paul's
nice.
Like, yeah, he did. He did a seminar.
That is very cool. I was telling cousin Jason that nephew Bodie needs to come when he gets here to when he comes back to Washington, that he needs to check out the gym, and we would go there and check it out because he is interested in the jiu-jitsu and MMA and all that other stuff. So
well, right. I also have some amazing news.
What's that?
Yeah, well,
throw it.
We are part of the project-nerd.com network.
This is a true thing. Real facts.
Project-nerd.com, your home of criminology facts and statistics.
Is that a new thing? Is that a...
Yes, in fact, I read a post. I read a post. I even sent it to you. It says,
you did, yeah.
The post says, my mom is a prosecutor, and every year she brings up the fact that Mother's Day is the day with the lowest crime. I think that says a lot about how many moms commit crimes throughout the year, but can't today because they're too busy being celebrated. And so it's very important. I'm now learning more facts about criminology and crime statistics on project-nerd.com. You can go there and learn them too.
That is 100%.
And we have a book that is a crime that was released at all.
I wonder if there could be a true crime podcast where it's just nothing but
comic book crimes.
Comic book crimes?
Yeah.
Whoa, crimes with comics?
Like Parasite everywhere?
No, none of that.
There's Parasite all over this book again, remember? We're back to... They should have called this book Parasite Titans.
Parasite Titans? Oh my god.
Titans of Parasite?
No, I don't like that. That's terrible.
Well, I don't like this book either, so, I mean, that's how it is. I mean, so, like, Parasite is terrible, and this book is terrible. Because it's all about it. Well, okay, we have a shitty cover. Can we move on?
No, I mean, it's actually... The cover is kind of cool, because, like, Clock King looks like Willy Wonka, but not the good Willy Wonka. Just, like, he kind of does...
the fucking Clock King. Like, seriously?
He's standing on top of a giant clock, and he's in a Willy Wonka pose with...
who is that on the cover next to him? Is that Hard Rock or whatever, rock and roll?
Hard Rock's in his crotch, which seems kind of weird, but that's where you see him. And he's got the Star Spangled Kid.
And who's the other person?
I don't know, but they do pop up at the end of this run, and
they pop up in the next issue.
And then we see in the next issue, and we see them with a person with a character, and I'm like, oh, they must be related. So we haven't seen this character at all through. So they've been hiding. They've been tucked up in a room or something like that.
They weren't part of the tournament.
They weren't part of the tournament. maybe they were tucked up with Static Shock in that sleeping room, the sleeping chair.
Well, I'll give you a hint. They were part of the new Infinity Inc. launch, which was a book that didn't go so well.
Oh, okay. So
it came out of 52,
Gotcha.
And they did the year later thing, and Infinity Inc. number 2. Yeah, Infinity Inc. number 2 had a grand total of 30 appearances. So the original Infinity Inc. actually lasted longer, which is it's quite the accomplishment not to outlast that book. I loved that book, but yeah, they killed it with Crisis. So terrible. Crisis was as bad to that as it was to Legion. And well, anyway, not to get lost on Infinity Inc. I did tell your co-author on Starlight, though, that if he was looking for a dead property to make a pitch to DC about, the original Infinity Inc. would be a great one.
Oh, yeah? Well, then.
Just saying.
Fingers crossed. Infinity Inc. Let's pitch it.
Well, there we go. Pitch everything. So, okay.
Next page. Moving on.
Yeah.
Slide.
Cool. Look at this. Look at this really cool Street Fighter ad.
Oh, man. I'm clicking buttons.
Hadouken.
Oh, that is a good ad. Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of ad, I see that kind of ad, and the next thing I want to do is I want to get in a GTI.
I think the next thing I want to do is look at the next page and kill my parents.
Oh, geez, parenticide. I don't think it's they're adopted parents. Does it count? I mean, yeah.
Yes. So now we're we've got Disruptor. Apparently she was found back to the terrible 80s and 90s scare tropes we heard as children.
Yeah.
Baby found in a garbage can. Tries to murder people as an adopted in the orphanage or something. Is adopted by really nice parents. Falls in love with her adopted dad, apparently, because we're just going to keep the tropes going. Murders her stepmom and tries to love her adopted dad, and then ends up in jail again. I don't know how this person got out of jail, because it does say a brief history of the life of Angelica Smith. So,
Disruptor. She disrupted things. That's how she got out.
Yeah, and now she's jealous of Ravager because Ravager's in love with the Clock King. So we've continued the trope, right? See how that worked?
Yeah.
It's great. This is a great fucking book.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And now Ravager's fighting with Bolt, and
they're all fighting.
Yeah, and it's gonna get better. It's just gonna keep getting. Oh wait, it's just gonna keep getting better. I mean, remember she was trying to have sex with Bolt to get him to murder people last issue. So yeah. I mean. Anyway, all right. Well, we flipped the page, and Disruptor's just saying that she's just another slut in her way. So,
it's. Ugh.
Do you have Gail Simone on speed dial by chance?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, if you did, we could
get
her opinion. Yeah. Well, anyway. We get to the next page. Oh, look, Star Spangled Kid has dispatched Terra and has won the Dark Side Club tournament.
Whoa.
And we get Terra Titans Part 5, The Great Destroyer, by Sean McKeever, an amazing writer. Joe Bennett on pencils. Jack Jadson inker. Ron Reis on colors. Swans is the editor, whoever Swans is. Is that... No, on letters, sorry, Swans. No name. Is that the company that brings you the frozen food? Or
no, that's Schwans.
Oh. I thought it was Swans. Don't they have little swans on their trucks?
No, they got Schwans. They are swans.
What's a schwan? What's a schwan?
It's kind of like a swan, but it's a schwan.
Okay. Rex Ogle, assistant editor. Brian Cunningham, editor. And you'll notice that... one of the fine editors has taken his name back off the book, so Dan Didio is nowhere to be found here.
It's not a Didio joint.
Yeah, he got back off here. I think when all the parasites started happening, he's I'm off this shit.
This is gross.
Yeah, I mean, he was too busy justifying Eddie Berzinga's existence at DC at the time, so he had to get off there, and he had to help out one of his other editors, I
see.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was thinking of things that were slightly less bad than Parasite, maybe. So, well, anyway, so, or maybe not. I don't know. Depends on your perspective, I guess.
I guess.
Let's not go down that path. Anyway,
everybody's a zombie.
All the zombie people, yeah, and there all of a sudden we do get some Infinity Inc. and but they never showed up before, and we got some other characters. We got one in like a striped shirt with purple hair. I'm not sure who that was. I don't remember that character at all.
Yeah, some of these are like
just some new people show up. Yeah, that we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good writing when a bunch of new characters show up that you've never seen before in issue 5 of a miniseries.
Yeah. Oh, hey. They weren't here before, but they're here now. Yeah, it's okay. We're not going to see them again.
Well, that character needs to be there so they can use them in one scene in issue 6.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And not that I've read ahead, but we're covering it this podcast anyway.
Yeah, so.
Anyway,
Clock
they're
King
all
is
talking.
Lord.
Yeah, they're all talking, and they're like, Clock King is Lord and stuff.
Chaos is order.
Yeah, well, that's because they found the anti-life equation, but that's neither here nor there. So, yeah, Jack. You know what? Can you imagine if Jack Kirby read this?
Whew.
And it was like, this is what they did to Darkseid and all of his cast of characters.
Wow. Yeah, he'd be a little heated.
Yeah.
A little heated.
Well, anyway, the Darkseid people are talking. There's Bernadette, right? From the originally from the female Furies, and I forget who the other Darkseid guy was at this point now. I don't who's left. They killed a couple of them. Is that Desaad that's left?
I think so.
They're talking and they're like, yeah, we're just the Clock King employees now. And that's fine. And then we get
have it your way at Clocker King.
Yeah. Well, anyway, then when the Persuader is talking to Bolt, but they're in civvies, and they're on the roof, and they're like, she's like, he took my dad away from me, and how'd you kill your father? And she's like, why don't you want the Clock King dead? And he just looks at her, he's like, I can't say I didn't think about it. A big part of me is still trying to process the whole thing. Still, I feel like I'm actually coming to terms with what I've done. So the Parasite good. We got 1, 2. Is that 2 Parasite goods in this issue?
That's two in this issue that are claiming good. One that's indecisive.
He's like, I'm glad he's gone. That's terrible, right?
We get more discussion here.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's just like, well, Persuader's really sad. And now we get to even better parts of the book. So, Copperhead?
Yeah.
I get it right this time?
Yeah, Copperhead.
All right.
Cobra!
Is hanging out with Tia and Tina, and her fingers are back on with no scars or anything.
Okay.
And they're hanging out, and she's like, I love you, Nathan, Copperhead guy. And he just kind of is looking to the side. And then Copperhead meets with Clock King, and he's like, how does it feel to be in love? Ha ha ha. And Copperhead's like, something seriously wrong with me, isn't it? Because I committed parricide too or something, right?
Because it was clear down there. I don't know. I don't feel anything.
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't commit parricide. He killed his little baby brother. Yeah.
Yeah, he killed it. He infanticide.
But he did infanticide, but like he ran away before he killed his parents. He left them live. So
yeah,
it was okay. And now Clock King gives a giant speech, and he has a new team called the Martyr Militia, consisting of all the people that were in the Fight Club, except for Static, who we have no idea what happened to him because he's gone.
Shocking.
A shocking revelation. That's good. I like that. This book makes me sad.
It is. It does make me sad too.
It makes me sad that somebody thought this was well, we flip the page and we have humanity's hope begins with one man's retribution.
Yeah, resistance.
Apparently, this is a good game. I don't know. You probably played it. I definitely did not.
I did not play the one for the PSP. I did play the other games for the PlayStation 3 and 4. I liked. Is it on PlayStation 4? I think so. I played those. I liked it. It's very like, Mars Attack, or not Mars Attack. Not funny like that. It's like aliens attack and you're fighting aliens and stuff like that. So, but yeah.
Okay. Ack.
Yeah, not in the ack kind of way. More in the like, oh, better like, it's like Sky is Falling. Sky is Falling.
Okay. I mean, I like the ack version personally, but
ack is much more fun. This is more like, crap, gotta run.
Well, we get to the next page here after looking at this ad, and the Clock King is like, "Hey, you all passed. You can now lead the Martyr Militia as the Terror Titans." All right.
Swing.
And they're like, "Where's Copperhead?" "Oh, I sent him out for a special mission." And then Copperhead's on top of the building with a bunch of power things with TNTina, I guess, a building, not the building. And she's like, "Oh, where are we going to go? Are we running away?" And then he hits a button on her collar and blows her up and murders her.
That's not nice.
Yeah, like, so I guess Copperhead's now like he's overcome his ability to love or something. This is what the fuck?
Yeah, because like he's like, "Oh, don't worry, you're not gonna. You don't have to fight again. Travis is calling."
Well, there we go. Travis knows when we podcast. I just covered that with him on last Friday from when we're recording this. So yeah. Anyway, or Thursday actually. But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so another plot point. So now Copperhead is a big baddie because he's murdered somebody else, and he murdered somebody he thought he might love, and he shows that he has no affection for anything. So he can now be part of the Terror Titans, too.
Terror Titans.
God.
Clock King just wants people to kill people that they love.
Usually I'm upset when the comic book doesn't have page numbers, but since this comic book has no page numbers, I don't need to tell you where these pages are located.
Yeah, because it's wumpy. So yeah, we got Ravager and Clock King having a discussion. She realizes that he's just having a whole entire Fight Club for his own amusement.
Right.
She's mad.
And then she takes a bunch of the adrenaline stuff and sees into the future too, and then realizes what he's doing, and she calls him a piece of trash. Which makes me question, right? If this whole time she could sort of do that, then what was she waiting for, right?
If she could have seen it the whole time, right? How far can she see into the future?
Well, and she's supposed to be like theoretically on a side mission, like spying on him and trying to figure out this whole thing, and then. And she just hung back and did all these other things to discover it, but then could figure it out. Like, it's okay, sure. Hey, WonderCon, you told me once that was not a good con, so.
I didn't say it was a bad con. I just said it was a con that I never had gone to and I didn't go to because, and this is interesting because this one,
only one of the people February. On here is part of Comicsgate, so that's good.
February. Mike, I don't think Mike had ever gone to it because of the timing and placement. Because it was set when it was set. It was usually like, okay, you got to pick if you're going to do this one or Emerald City because timing wise.
Oh yeah.
February, March.
Well, that's good.
Too close.
Well, WonderCon happened a long time ago, and then that would be like in 2009. This one, anyway. Okay, and so we're back, and Ravager's gonna murder Clock King, but we get back to if we didn't get enough before, now we get Tina eviscerating herself with her own power and melting herself. It's so fucking great. Can you imagine you're Joe Bennett? You're trying to break into comics. You're a pretty good penciler, decent. I mean, there's some. I feel like the penciling gets a little bit worse in this book. And that's fine.
And
I would be worn down by this point too. And then you're reading the script and you're like, I have to pencil this shit.
I gotta pencil somebody like exploding themselves, but keep it like somewhat them, but not them at all. But it having exploding, and it's a lot.
There's nothing like self-immolation. Well, anyway,
so much kaboom.
Yeah,
Kaboom.
Ravager breaks out, and then the Terror Titans are beating up Ravager because she wants to like beat up Clock
She's a
King.
tattletale.
Yeah, and then they're all beating Ravager up, and then Disruptor grabs her and holds her neck, and it says, to be continued. Okay, I can't wait. I'm sure she's gonna die.
Well, actually, she does.
Well, not here.
We all die. We all die, Dan.
Eventually. Well, can we get to issue 6 now?
Yeah, we can.
The Last Stand, where we have Ravager and kind of a cool cover where we see all the people surrounding her. Okay,
it's like
cool.
If the whole book was just this, that'd be rad, but it's
and
not.
The city's
so.
burning behind her.
Well, that's not cool. That sucks.
Terror Titans number 6. All right, here we go.
Let's go.
We get Los Angeles. We get that shimmering lady on the first page.
Lady.
I don't remember her name. What was it?
I don't know.
Pristine, the one we have no idea whose, but her powers are.
Yeah.
Or is that Sapphire's the blue one?
They're doing all everybody's out there bad, like just like their whole job is to just like mess up the city, just to blow it up, because they've sent Tina up on the power grid. She's blown that up, and now all the Martyrs of Mayhem are doing their dastardly deeds that they didn't want to do, but they're doing them for dirt cheap because Clock King said so.
Well, we have another one here, Flying Person. We'll call her Flying Person. I have no idea who that is. It looks like it's that Son of the Devil guy. Son of the Fallen. Yeah.
Son of the Fallen.
And they're all terrorizing Los Angeles. They're terrorizing.
Terrorizing the Terror Titans.
And we get Terror Titans Part 6, 1 Second to Midnight by Sean McKeever, Joe Bennett, Jack on art, Jadson inker, J.D. Smith on colors. We've changed colors again. Can't imagine why they can't keep those colors around for this book. Travis Lanham on letters. Rex Ogle, assistant editor. Is it a different editor than last time?
Yeah. No.
Assistant editor.
Same. Assistant.
Brian Cunningham. Same. And we get a special thanks to Elizabeth V. Gerlin, which I'm sure is very proud of their participation in this book. So, yeah. So, here we go. They're fighting Ravager. They're beating people up. And basically they're like, you've betrayed the Clock King, you're gonna die. And then Star Spangled Kid comes out and is like, I've got a better idea. And wait, then you flip the page and we have no idea what the better idea is. Well, anyway, the Disruptor's about to kill her.
She's fighting her. It's turn. It's gonna be like I'm gonna rip her stomach out.
Yeah, and then they're all like, go ahead and kill her.
Do it, whatever. We don't care.
But then they tell her not to do it, and she gets distracted, and Ravager turns the tables. And then there's a whole army of people walking behind the Star Spangled Kid. And guess what? The Star Spangled Kid reveals themselves because, of course, Ravager already knew who it was, to be Ms. Martian.
What?
Agon. Agon. Can you say it like they do? I can't say it like they do on Young Justice. I don't do Martian very well. No, it's like Magon. Like it's a weird...
Magon?
I don't know. Watch Young Justice. Clearly you haven't, because you know what I was talking about. So, anyway, So she's like, the Dark Side Club knew I was resistance, blah, 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 blah. We get a bunch of exposition here for this MacGuffin where Ms. Martian just appears out of nowhere. There were some indications that she was using maybe some telepathic powers or something, or the Star Spangled Kid was. But yeah, I mean, this is lame as hell. I don't know. I mean, do you disagree? Like, it's just like... Because all of a sudden, Ms. Martian is leading the whole army and managed to break all of the control in one panel. So now all the other heroes are out of the control. They're following her along. Now we get one of those amazing what's the worst that above the influence ads here, where slugs dressed as humans are about to eat salt.
Oh no.
And it says, what's the worst that could happen? I don't know. Like, I feel like salt can be good for you under certain circumstances. These are the worst anti-drug ads ever. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
I mean, they fit perfectly with this book. Honestly, I wish I had taken hard drugs before reading this book.
I honestly don't know what anti-drug ad you're looking at because I don't have that same one.
Oh, yeah, you do.
It's probably in the back of the book.
Well, anyway, we flip the page and Bolt's like standing up to all of the good guys and is like, I don't think so. And like Aqua Girl is like yelling about Ravager being one of them now, and
she's one of them. Don't listen to her.
And now they're gonna have they're teasing that she's gonna side with the Terror Titans, but we know she's not because she's already said it multiple times in the book that she's not going to do that. Now they're back at the Dark Side Club, and the Terror Titans flash back in. Clock King's like, "Ha, welcome. I trust you had an entertaining failure," and they're like, "It's not our fault, Clock King. We didn't do anything. Yeah,
we tried our best."
Yeah,
the
and they're
ice
like,
cream melted.
Angelica, you disappoint me the most. Didn't I tell you not to make another attempt on Ravager's life? And then she's there, and he murders her.
Yeah, just like melts her with one of his like little things.
Yeah. And then like that makes the Persuader really mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the good guys all bust in at the same time.
Yeah.
And the Clock King leaves. And now it's just Copperhead, Bolt, and Persuader against all of the people. We get another ad for Resistance Retribution. Then a Static finally shows back up.
Yeah.
And we get a link to another character that I don't know, that's the Mask, because they haven't told us, even though I do know who it is. Mm-hmm. We get an ad for the Watchmen movie soundtrack, which was good. Which is
awesome. Get it if you don't have it already.
And then Static starts blasting people on his way out. He takes out the Dark Side Club, like, inner circle. By the way, can I just talk about what an amazing use of Static this is? Like, you had this character that was hot on a television show, sat them out of DC Universe proper for several years, and bring them in this miniseries.
Use them in this miniseries for 2 issues and maybe 4 pages total. Yeah, it's depressing.
I mean, that gets me really excited about reading more Static stuff for sure.
Yeah, no, they should have. It just should have been nothing but Static, and yeah, just
right. But they're focused on making Ravager into a great character. Don't you want to read a Ravager book after this?
No.
I mean, literally, Sean McKeever's
I don't want to read either book after this.
Sean McKeever's just killing off these characters that had potential. Like he's killing off these characters worse than killing off characters he does in the book. Like he's literally making them like a property. He's destroying properties as he writes pages.
It's making them unattractive to people that want to read them later. Yeah.
Well, anyway, the Clock King pops back in and throws some Clock King balls at people.
Clock King balls.
They're poorly timed every time.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Oops. Sorry about that. Well.
Oops. My balls.
Well, anyway, we get more fighting, and it's Ravager's like taunting him. Terra takes out Copperhead like with a giant rock. The Clock King uses his special powers to hit Ravager in the face because he can get up close to her, which is probably a mistake. We get a ad for Flash Rebirth with Jeff Johns and the asshole from Comicsgate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Skip over that.
You know, it was also shitty because, like, bringing Barry back, honestly, like, while Flashpoint was okay in the comic, it was not great in the movie they did. And they, like, there was no reason to bring Barry back. Wally was a great character and is. I mean, Wally's in the Flashbook now. Anyway, I that was one where, like, you know, sometimes a character maybe should just stay dead. Though I wouldn't have gotten the Flash TV show, which I did like, at least for the first 3 or 4 seasons. I mean, it went downhill kind of, but like, well, I still watched it. It just I actually did. I did pause it because they went through a storyline in the comic book that I hated, and they just got to that in the show, so that I was like, I can't watch. Yeah. But they start introducing all these different forces and with the Speed Force. You know, I'm a completist, so you know I'm gonna have to go back and watch the whole thing. But anyway,
watch all the tie-in shows.
Ravager has sucked the Clock King in so she can punch him in the face. That was the whole purpose of this. She punches him in the face and then throws him off a building, or he jumps off a building, or I don't know. Hopefully he's dead forever and never comes back.
We'll find out.
Well, anyway, they wrap up the last 3 Terror Titans. Steel shows up to greet his niece, Natasha Irons.
Yeah.
And he's like, I should have looked for you more. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, you weren't even in the story until we got you were on the cover of the last issue. Like,
the cover of the last issue. And I was like, who's that? And then she shows up here, and this, like, near the end of the book. So.
And we get, thanks, Ms. Martian, you saved everybody.
Oh.
But while you were doing that, I KO'd most of the Darkseid Club. They're like, what happens now? Oh, well,
my name's Static.
I don't care. It looks like the Terror Titans are being transported to jail or something, and they all escape. Their captors are murdered, and they get the Persuader, or the Persuader is, and somehow Bolt and Copperhead got away in all this.
Yeah, they did not get captured, just the Persuader.
Even though they're captured 2 pages before. They're pretty captured. They're all tied up with. They're pretty captured.
They got away.
Well, it never shows where they got away.
Yeah.
But anyway, they apparently took over the Clock King's, like, the Darkseid Club lair or whatever. And that's the end of the story. Yeah. So, and it says follow the Titans in Teen Titans number 69. All right. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I kept buying this book. Why did I keep buying? Anyway, this is brutal as hell. It doesn't stand up to anything. It's disgusting. There's just a bunch of murder for no reason. It's sexist as all get out. It's at least it's a book. At least they threw the Clock King off a building, but somehow he survived as well. It doesn't indicate that this was his death, so because he died off panel. So
right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess not every comic book can be a hit.
That's true. Not everyone can be perfect and are great or fantastic, but this is what you end up with sometimes, and it's what we read.
And finally, in an advertisement that matches the quality of the book, we get an advertisement for Nicolas Cage's Knowing.
Knowing, what's a good movie, man?
And yeah, it's a good movie. Like, this is a good comic book.
I was gonna say it's a perfect pairing if you're catching my drift.
Oh, it's a fantastic pairing. Yeah. I mean, so usually I say to read along with us, but in this case, if you don't, you're fine. We covered it. Teenage Fight Club, so Parasite, and destroying characters that could be good properties. You get that all right here from one Sean McKeever writing the script. And, I feel bad for Joe Bennett for having to draw this book. I mean, get your breakthrough at DC and then draw this terrible ass book.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
You're so much kinder than me, but this time you're not even doing that. This time you're like, yeah, no, this sucks. I went into it. I'll say it. I mean, and people that listen to the podcast have been listening to us for the last, few years. They know that I go into everything and I look for the good stuff. And I honestly did look for the good stuff. And 3 books into it, I was like, there's no good stuff. And I read ahead and I was like, this is not great. And the fact that they had brought so many people in to help direct it, push it into this is what we want it to be. And it still wasn't good. It was very difficult for me to enjoy. That being said, it's a book, and there's, I'm sure, a lot of other things that Sean has done, and you can enjoy. This is not one of them, and there's other books out there that he has worked on that are no, it just keeps getting worse. Are you ready?
What?
Well, the next issue of Teen Titans that they refer to us is issue 69, so this comes off a miniseries. They hit you in part 4 of a 4-part story. And so they bring you in off of this in the 4th part of a 4th-part story. And it says, the Teen Titans continue in their efforts to solidify their lineup. Wonder Girl spearheads yet another recruitment drive, so that means it's obviously happened recently, in which she offers up Titans Tower as a sanctuary to any teen superhero. Attending the drive are those heroes and heroines who only recently escaped the Clock King's Darkside Club.
Okay.
Most of those who attend refuse to join the team. The final roster consists of Wonder Girl, Aqua Girl, Static, Blue Beetle, Kid Eternity, Bombshell, Ms. Martian, and a powerless Eddie Bloomberg. So, 2 of them joined the team, but the rest of them left. And Aqua Girl, I think, was already part of the team, right? Wasn't she she was at the beginning of the story, like, spying on them, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So, the only person out of this whole story, out of the entire fucking story that we had to read that joins the team is Static, who we saw for like 5 panels in the entire book.
Oh, jeez.
Or 5 pages. There's more than panels, but yeah, awesome.
Okay.
And Eddie Blueberg was the Red Devil, by the way, or Kid Devil, depending on which iteration you were getting him in. Apparently, he was Blue Devil's sidekick at one point, sort of fan.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the person who's powerless, and then you got the rest of the team lineup. Yeah. Oh, and thank God at the time too. They got Blue Beetle out of his own book they got Jaime out of his own book to be part of this team. Yeah. Anyway, we'll just leave it at that. So there you go, folks. This was the Terror Titans 5 and 6. Will not be reading this one again. In fact, I probably should pull it out of my collection and burn it.
Burn it! Oh, I never suggest doing that to anything. Don't. I mean, not books at least. I did suggest that you burn the desk that's in your house.
Yeah. Well, when you have too many comic books, and nobody will buy this comic book because it's so terrible, then what would you suggest I do with it?
I don't know.
I mean, there's probably a Terror Titans fan out there somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like I could sell Terror Titans number 4 for a whopping $3.75 on it. Well, let me see if any of these have actually sold. Hold that thought. It looks like, yeah. Oh, looks like you can buy number 3 and number 4. Here, hang on. Let me go click that. Well, you think it's something to talk about where I go find out if these books actually sell.
I was going to say if this book series that we just talked about really got you excited, and the writing and writing styling is Sean McKeever got you juiced up and jazzed because of what you saw on the from our podcast and stuff like that, and you know that I do another podcast with Saul Perez, which we do horror movies and other things on Nurse from the Crypt, a movie that we won't be covering, obviously, because we haven't recorded in a while, but which I would direct you to only because Sean McKeever was an actor in this 1991 sci-fi horror.
Sean McKeever was
in Mind Warp, post-apocalyptic.
Wait, this Sean McKeever?
This same Sean McKeever, post-apocalyptic 2037, Judy rebels against the AI-ruled utopia where people live in a happy VR simulation. Oh my gosh, it sounds like current times. She's exiled to a post-nuclear wasteland where she meets a drifter, Stover. Mutated cannibals capture them for their leader, Seer. The upside is you get Bruce Campbell and you get Angus Scrimm, as well as Marta Martin in this movie, so you get to see him act as well as these other fine performers as well. But he has an acting career as well.
Well, good for him.
Before writing,
well,
also he's a crawler. So he is a crawler. In the wasteland. There's also another movie called Children of the Night I could go into, and that would be definitely something Saul and I probably
that's really okay. You and Saul can go into that. We don't need to get into that here. I don't think.
No. But he did also write some of the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic games in the early 20.
Well, I am happy to say that I could sell. It looks like the entire set sold for $19.99 on eBay on April 9th. But another entire set sold for $11.99. And another entire set sold for $12, but it was $10.15 on shipping, so that seems like kind of a rip. Another one sold for $15.79.
That's how they got that $19. Get that median.
Yeah,
hit that $12 mark.
Well, no, it looks like that was for $15.79 plus $4.95 shipping, but the $19.99 had $4.99 shipping too. So, maybe I get my fine books up here with their bags and their boards and everything, and sell my Terror Titans books. Yeah, I mean, I had no idea these were worth anything, so I figured they were worth like a quarter or something.
Sell them for $18, free shipping.
It looks like an entire set of some stuff sold for, well, anyway. Wow. I mean, who the fuck knew?
You're going to make some monies.
I don't think I'm going to make any money, but...
You're going to make so many dollars.
Well, if I ever retire, I can just go about doing this, so... Just...
sending comic books
wow,
left and right.
What in the hell? New Teen Titans 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 sold for $78.
Wow. That's wild,
man. No, that's the original. Sorry. That was not the back. Okay. No, I don't have all those. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that. Never mind. That was not what I thought it was. I was thinking it was the 1984 version, not the 1982 version. That would be different. Okay. Well, not really get lost in here. Exciting talk. Yeah, good talk. Apparently, when you listen to this podcast, Starlight number 7 should be live on Kickstarter, so you can go there and get yourself a copy of Starlight number 7. If you're a loyal listener, you've already heard me review Starlight number 7. Wait. I didn't review Starlight number 7. You've heard me talk about Starlight number 6. And get to read. I got to, as I just like to point out, as an esteemed member of the comic book media.
Yes.
Greg's writing partner, Travis Webb, treats me with the esteem that I deserve and allowed me to read an advanced copy of it. And you've already know that, because you've listened to that issue. But maybe through the magic of comic book time, we didn't mention that on a couple other podcasts, because maybe that was recorded in between the recordings of some other things.
Oh yeah.
And through wibbly wobbly timey wimey, now you're hearing about it like 4 weeks later for like the 3 weeks later for like the first time. 2 weeks, whatever. I can do math. 3, 2.
Or people saw the reel that was posted, or the.
Did Travis post a reel?
Video. Yeah, and then I reposted it as my own, and I was like, look at Dan, he's crying.
I wasn't crying.
No, I didn't say that.
I wasn't crying. I only cried in issue 5.
I know. I was like, look at Dan, he's laughing. Travis is crying.
Now, I'll admit it when I cry. I mean, I cried in issue 5. Well, I wasn't on Facebook that day, so I don't think I saw it. I was busy driving.
You messaged when you read that, and I think you called, and you were so angry in issue 5 that you called promptly after reading it and yelled at me.
Yeah, well, that was issue 5, but that's not issue whatever we're on, 7.
This one is very different. So I honestly feel like Travis is very happy with this one. So I think your reaction was very much like Tom's reaction.
Well, I understand that Tom, the letterer, was mad that the book ended. So.
Oh, it's not. I will say it's
not
mad. It's not that it ended.
Sad.
It's not that it ended. It's not that it ended. It's just
that this book ended.
This portion of the story.
This book has a 7-issue arc. It ends. Yeah. It doesn't mean like it ends, but we don't want to go through any more than that because we don't want to spoil anything. I'm already in trouble. Yeah. So
I know.
I've got to. I had to edit some things out. So
the arc is over, and then but he's working his Tom magic, and Travis is listening.
Yeah, well, no, it's awesome. So no, you all did a good job, and but I will say that maybe familiarity breeds contempt, because your co-author sure treats me more like an esteemed member of the comic book media than my podcast partner does.
I am so sorry.
Who won't let me read previews on anything.
Yes, being familiar with somebody, I would say yes, having a friendship that has lasted decades.
Anything. Or decades you just won't let me read things because I can't keep my fucking mouth shut.
Well, that is also part of it, knowing you for decades, knowing that is the truth. Yeah. I mean, that is also part of it too.
Well, I think we should stop this now. We probably need to take a pause on this and just realize that we read a really terrible book, but we've got really cool things coming up. Of course, you can always find Greg at the Retro Emporium on Meeker Street in Kent, Washington. You're also going to be able to find us on June sometime, June 21st, walking around SummerCon in Puyallup, Washington at the fairgrounds. So if you drop by, we will give you, I don't know why I hold them up every time because nobody's watching us on video, we will give you, see us. We will give you a Funny Book Forensics stickers. So if you like stickers that say Funny Book Forensics, you can have one. All you have to do is find us two morons at SummerCon and...
Yes, us two morons, and then another esteemed member of the media
that Greg won't tell me about. And
secret.
And
you know who they are.
It's funny. And in addition, I don't know who they are. Yes, you haven't told me yet.
I thought they've been on a bunch of these like chats between Iggy and us. I could be wrong.
Do you think I seriously pay attention to anything that's happening except posting the show?
No, I don't think so.
I didn't even know I was on a reel on Facebook, like, as it was happening. That's true. Like, this, we revealed that during this discussion. Yeah, now I'm like, I'm going back here. And then
that's true. Well,
the reason I don't...
You should just, like, look up, like there's so many things that, like, people post about.
Should I be looking at Travis's thing? Like, I don't even know where to look. I, like, tried to find it.
Travis had all these great videos of you in his house. It was great. There's, like, 10 or 12 videos that he made of you while you were there. And you were only there for a short time. It was great.
Yeah, well, you know, I see pictures of Travis's feet.
And then when you fell in the pool, that was even funnier. Cause, like,
I didn't go in the pool. I was in... What are you talking...
No, not on purpose, of course.
What are you talking about?
Well, you were trying to barbecue with the barbecue on the floaty raft.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I must have... Like, what did Travis slip me while I was at the house, right? This is some insanity. Well, we'll go ahead and start wrapping this thing up. Of course, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on X. You can find us on... Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You could subscribe to our podcast feed through a podcast aggregator like, I don't know, like Podcast Addict.
Podcast Addict.
Google get all your things, Apple something. Yeah, whatever. And then
find us at Project Nerd.
Yeah, and you can find us at project-nerd.com. As I learned today, your host for why... we should ban all recipes with stories on the internet.
Hey, I mean, you should go. I love that one. It's so good.
Well, it's true. Classic. I mean, we really should. I mean, who actually reads this stupid effing story? I just want the fucking recipe. So, like, get me there, right? Like, you know... And this book has got me so mad. I've dropped like 4 F-bombs in the last like 3 minutes.
We had to put that thing at the beginning that says, this is a
It always says explicit. It doesn't matter what we say. I just put explicit on the book.
Greg goes, oh my.
I don't want to censor myself, so...
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look, Travis is talking. Is this when I was talking? No, Travis is talking. I don't see any of these real things. How do you even see these real things? Well, it doesn't matter. We're out of here. I don't know how to use the internet, and we're done. So it's amazing we actually get anything posted. So, funny. Well, thanks for listening.
It's true.
We promise that we don't have an announcement for what we're covering next week yet, but we promise it is not going to be sad like this.
It's not going to be this. It's going to be something even better.
Yeah.
Who knows what it's going to be.
It's not going to make us depressed. No, you don't get no. Mm-mm.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
No. It can't be that?
No, it can't be that.
What about this?
I can't handle that right now.
Oh, what about that?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah?
You know, if we really wanted to get sad.
Oh. No, I want to laugh.
Well, if you want to be happy, if you want to be sad and happy at the same time, but we're not going to do that right now.
Is that called sappy? When you're sad and happy?
Well, here's the funny thing: we could read the 4-issue Terra miniseries and see how Sean McKeever destroyed the work Justin Gray, Jimmy Palmiotti, and Amanda Connor did on the character.
It's only 4 comics.
Yeah,
so
it would make you so depressed because like you'd be like, oh, they created something kind of fun here, and Power Girl shows up, and it's Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray,
really
and then no, it's fun. It's fun, but we're not going to read that right now. So.
Oh, but we should, because we just came off of this, and I might need that.
It actually made me angrier seeing it because I had forgotten the cool thing they did with the character. Yeah, so.
Oh, now I want to read it, Dan. You're teasing and tempting me.
You know what we're reading next week, don't you?
What?
You know what we're reading next week?
Oh, that. Yeah, okay.
We're reading the Tribute to 9/11 comic. No. We are not doing that.
Wow. Is it because they closed down the
we're not doing
the window?
Just no, we're not. We're not doing that. So we're definitely not doing that ever.
Okay. Okay.
Ever.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
That's a big no.
Yeah. Wow. Whew.
After discussing Parasite, we could always read Alias, because nothing bad happened in that book to the main character.
Yeah, no. We were trying to watch a show, and I was
Jessica
trying to explain
Jones?
some stuff, but Alias, original Alias, and then we watched all the Jessica Jones, and
nothing.
To go back and watch the original. And just like she pulled the plug on it. It's like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, well, it's also scary. It's also really scary. But I'm thinking that we should lighten it up a little bit, maybe.
Some Archie's books. Okay, perfect. Yeah, excellent.
My thought is this.
Richie Rich, yes.
How about?
Yeah.
How about? I don't know why I'm saying this right now, because you were about to say
it.
How about we read?
No.
How about we read?
No.
How about we read? I mean, we've only ever gotten one listener request before.
Oh my God.
And I did say I would eventually honor that listener's request.
Yeah?
I said I needed to read some good stuff beforehand, but then we just read some terrible stuff, so I feel like I'm in the right state of mind to read Capwolf.
Whoa.
So I don't remember the issue number, because I have not prepared this at all. But next week, Greg will even advertise this probably next week. You're going to get the start of Capwolf.
Oh my gosh.
Guest starring some other wolfy characters like Wolverine, who's not a wolf.
Wolverine? That would be hilarious.
And Wolverine and Wolfsbane. And
Wolfsbane.
That's what we're doing next. So maybe some Werewolf by Night. Hell, I don't know what's in there. But you know what? We're doing it. We're doing some Capwolf. We can only assume that Capwolf spawned all the great things in the future, like all the DC zombies and Marvel zombies and all that. We can only assume that this was the great thing. We can only assume that book was the entire inspiration for the Twilight series.
Exactly.
And we're going to have dogs barking in 2 seconds. So with that, we're wrapping this up. So thanks. Right. This was Funny Book Forensics. We're out, and you're getting some Capwolf. Bye.
Woo!